Peaceful protest!
I got you. Hold still.
Are you a part of this demonstration?
We keep us safe. We keep us safe. We keep us safe. We keep us safe.
That's it. Great. Thank you.
We keep us safe. We keep us safe. We keep us safe. Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe? Who keeps us safe?
So much.
Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. We keep us safe. We keep us safe.
Move back. Thank you. We got move back.
Ceasefire now! 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 Let the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, cause the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Justice is our demand. There's no peace on stolen land. Justice is our demand. There's no peace on stolen land. Justice is our demand. There's no peace on stolen land. Justice is
Rise up. My name is. What is it?
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Rise up, rise up, rise up. How do you do it?
Rise up, all my people, rise up.
Rise up, all my people, rise up.
Rise up, rise up, rise up. Rise up, my people, rise up.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
We love you.
El mundo se levanta.
Gaza, aguanta. El mundo se levanta.
Gaza, aguanta. El mundo se levanta. Gaza, aguanta. El mundo se levanta. Gaza, aguanta. El mundo se levanta. Gaza, aguanta. El mundo se levanta. Don't worry, we got you. 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 We have held down the bridge for over an hour and a half. We know that these solution is on the side of Israel. And we know that we have power to free Palestine. 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 We know there's enough violence in Gaza. We know there's enough violence from these police forces. We don't want to just go by the peaceful protest. So at this point, folks, we need to start getting back in our cars. Start getting back in our cars. Because we know that these pigs are on the side of violence. We know that these pigs will not think twice before using force against us. We know that these pigs are on the side of the state that continues pouring in money to kill innocent children every day, not only in Gaza, but in the Philippines, in Mexico, in all
Yeah, you can stay here. You can stay here.
We can do an interview with quick if you'd like, Virginia.
Yeah, okay. And then Wasim will bring another person here to talk. Sure.
We have disrupted OPEC and all that what they're doing. At this point,
Your name.
My name is Pete Wywode, Woiwode.
And you were with what group?
I'm with Palestinian Resistance here. The organization is Palestinian Resistance with thousands of people across the country and here in the Bay Area demanding that Joe Biden call for a ceasefire immediately.
Tell me about this action here today.
So we're here with hundreds standing up for thousands and millions of people around the country who are demanding ceasefire now. Joe Biden is in San Francisco talking with world leaders and putting money into the ongoing genocide, and we need to stand up and stop it now. Should we
How many
go?
of you are here?
There's hundreds of us here.
Do you want to?
Come with us?
You want to come with us? Do you want to? Come with us?
My car and everything is over on that
Okay.
side.
Get your pass on you, right?
Thanks. Thanks.
Start hooking up the truck. The next one behind you, then grab it up. 20 miles back.
Thank you. They don't lose their truck, they're gonna get towed with their truck.
Whose is this?
5:30.
Having fun?
Farther that way. We're going into we're here in the front. Just walk up. So I'm right behind the truck here.
All media, you can stage right here.
We had all the shots here. It was perfect.
Yeah.
We just walked up.
I walked up with the guy from Channel 7. We walked up.
Could you move
Hi,
your
before
car?
you set your stuff down, we're gonna open this lane up right here. So we're gonna have you guys just go on.
Right there in the 4 lane.
Just like
Have you guys stage right there in the next one.
Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea!
2 and 43.
Palestine will be free! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! What do we want? When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Want it now! What do we want? Ceasefire! Want it now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? have you killed today? How many kids have you killed today? How many kids have you killed today? How many kids have you killed today? We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide. Joe Biden, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. 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 We charge you with genocide.
You guys are wild on that.
Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! What do we want? Now! Ceasefire! Now! Ceasefire! Genocide Joe, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Genocide What do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Genocide Joe, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Genocide Joe, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? Genocide Joe, what do you say? How many kids have you killed today? What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Ceasefire! When do we want it? Now! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine!
What their time frame
your pass up, right? Your immediate pass when you parked? Okay, because we came by, I saw you parked there.
With the red car?
Yeah, and then
On the sidewalk.
we went by again, it was moved. They moved it. I think that's you. They didn't tow it. I thought they towed it initially when I walked by. I said, oh my God, Grace's car is gone. And then yeah, it's not.
Then I moved it.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
moved it along the sidewalk.
You moved it. All right, nobody else. Yes, I took it.
And then the guy talking to me, and then I pulled it.
Howdy. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead. You still rolling it right now? How's your signal?
Not good. Not good at all. Not that good. My live signal is
Okay.
yeah.
Ask him to repeat.
Okay, yeah, I'll go to the toll plaza. Because it doesn't make sense for Allie and Chip and I both to be up here right now, so it's the third year, I think. Yeah. Alright, I'll go to the toll plaza. Okay. Okay, sounds good. I will, I gotta walk about, 2 minutes down the bridge there to my car, so. Okay. Alright, thanks.
I'll get the video.
Alright, thanks.
Let me know next time you're gonna dance. I'll get the video.
greater decoupling. But still, 2 out of 3 is not bad. And I say that because when we talk about the United States and China, we recognize that both of these countries, they are competitors, they are adversaries, they are interdependent, but most importantly, they are adults. They're adults. They don't want to just break things when they get angry or they don't get their way. I'm seeing increasingly among American political leaders and in headlines from the media that there is a growing axis of evil between Russia and Iran and China. Not so. The Russians and the Iranians are angry, they are petulant, and they are trying to create chaos. They benefit from disorder. The Americans and Chinese do not benefit from disorder. Both countries look at the conflict in the Middle East. Both countries look at the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. They don't want it to get worse. The Americans sending carrier strike forces into the Middle East after Israel-Gaza breaks out. Why do they do that? Because they want to make sure Iran doesn't get involved in the war. The Chinese have destroyers that they're keeping in the region. They're not meant to intimidate the Americans. They're meant to show everyone we want to make sure the Straits of Hormuz are passable for global energy. There is a fundamental agreement between the two most powerful countries in the world that we need to avoid World War III. That we need to avoid regional confrontation escalating into global recession and broader geopolitical conflict. And frankly, that's the single most important thing that Biden and Xi Jinping can talk about. The Americans are the closest ally of Israel. The Chinese have not condemned Hamas. The Americans are supporting Ukraine, and the Chinese are closer friends of the Russians. But both want to ensure that these conflicts do not escalate out of control. Don't underestimate the importance of that baseline understanding between Biden and Xi Jinping. It's valuable, it's resilient. It's the biggest message of resilience I can share with you today. Now, when I look more broadly at the trajectory of the relationship, I'm glad to see the charm offensive everyone talks about. I was sad to see the gotcha question on, do you still think Xi Jinping is a dictator? I mean, what's he supposed to say? Well, I thought he was a couple weeks ago, but I've changed my mind in 4 hours. He can't say that, right? He can't say that. But, I mean, look, some of our best friends are dictators. No, that's not what he said either. The point is that the United States right now, after 50 years of unfettered globalization, has a very strong and resilient economy, but the U.S. political system is, frankly, looking less sustainable. And China, after 50 years of more or less unfettered globalization, has a very strong, consolidated political leadership. But their economic system is looking increasingly unfit for purpose. These are two countries that have very deep questions of identity that they need to be asking themselves at home. And while that's happening, they don't need bigger problems internationally. And not only do we not need a Cold War between the US and China, you cannot find an ally of the Americans. You cannot find an ally of the Chinese that wants a big fight between these two countries. You can't have a Cold War if nobody else wants to be a part of it, right? That's just a fight between the US and China. The Indonesians, I just saw President Jokowi, he goes to the White House, he builds the strongest relationship, strongest ally with the Americans. By the way, same exact level as their relationship with the Chinese. They can do that. Singaporeans, same story. Countries around the world do not want to be forced to choose between the Americans and the Chinese. Okay, Mexico and Canada have no choice. They're fundamentally integrated with the largest economy. Cambodia and Laos, same thing for the Chinese. You can decide whether Canada's Cambodia or Laos in that environment. I don't know. That wasn't where I was going. The point is that we are not heading to a global Cold War because we have far more multilateralism in the system, because we have far more resilience in the system than that. But before I leave you, I do have to talk about the things that are going bumpier in the night. have to talk about the Middle East, and I have to talk about Russia, Ukraine. On the Middle East, we got a Security Council resolution yesterday that was not vetoed by the United States. First time you've seen that on a Middle East peace process issue in decades. It looks increasingly likely that that will facilitate a significant release of hostages in Gaza. And if that happens, we'll have a 3-day ceasefire minimum between the Israelis and Hamas. I hope that happens, because that would create, for a moment at least, an opportunity for greater diplomacy, an opportunity to take the Gulf states who have done a lot of work in the region and maybe have them engage directly with Israel. But I do not see an off-ramp anytime soon. I see a conflict that is likely to live in the Middle East for decades. I see no effective governance model that people can agree to on the ground in Gaza. I see no effective process that could bring you to a two-state solution for years. And that is not where we want to be in an area that the Americans have been trying to pivot from for a very long time. There is no alternative to the U.S. as global policeman for the Middle East. No one else can play that role. No one else will play that role. And the U.S. commitment to it is at best half-hearted and constrained. Russia, Ukraine, no one has asked me about for 5 weeks, which I am annoyed about personally, because I wrote my dissertation on Russians in Ukraine. So I'm like, well, what's going on? This is supposed to be my issue. But after a year and a half of the G7 being very close together, the United States and Europe being very close together, the Democrats and Republicans being very close together, this has become a partisan issue in the U.S., and this is becoming a divisive issue for the transatlantic relationship and even inside Ukraine itself. Watch the fight between the President, Zelensky, and the head of the armed forces in Ukraine, Zaluzhny, and you can see where this can go if the Americans are unable to continue to provide essential support for Ukraine. I think we've passed a tipping point on Ukraine. I think the outcome is likely to be some form of partition. Now, that's not acceptable to the Americans or the Europeans or the Ukrainians, but there are a lot of things that are unacceptable that we live with. It's unacceptable that North Korea has nuclear weapons, but they have them. It's unacceptable that Maduro runs Venezuela, or Assad runs Syria, or Kim Jong-un is in North Korea. But we live with these issues. We will live with the fact that the Ukrainians will not get back significant parts of their territory. So the question is, in return for that brutal reality, which is subversion of international law, that none of us in this room want, can the Americans and the Europeans provide some credible, permanent security and economic guarantees that keep the Ukrainian government intact and show NATO that it matters long-term for the world? And the answer to that is, I don't know. And we have to go to the final point here, which is, I'm so delighted that APEC is showing that we have a desire for more stability, more economic growth, more resilience in the most economically dynamic part of the world. I'm delighted to be a part of that. It's so nice to be here addressing you today. But I also know that there is a fundamental question about American credibility and American willingness and capacity to make good and execute on stated policies over a period of time. We have felt this in Afghanistan. We have felt this on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. We have felt this on the JCPOA. We have felt this on the Paris Climate Accord. We are now feeling this on Ukraine. There is a narrow window to ensure that Ukraine is not a loss, that Ukraine is something that brings together the advanced industrial democracies and their friends because there was a crisis, because the international community failed them for decades. We have months to get that right. We should not forget about it because there are other conflicts. It's critically important for all of us. With that, I thank you very much, and I'll talk to you all soon.
At this time, we ask that you please exit the hall as we prepare for the President's arrival. We'll take a short coffee break and welcome you back when it's time to resume our program. We ask for your continued cooperation. Please exit the hall as we anticipate the President's arrival. We ask for your continued cooperation. Please exit the hall as we anticipate the President's arrival.